If I had to describe MGTOW in as few words as possible, I'd probably go and put it as disaster management for relationships. That's really all it is. The entire idea of MGTOW is what I'm getting out of it worth what I'm putting into it? Now, I know that some of you out there will probably be saying, well, you know what? It's a relationship. It's not about what you get out of it. It's about love. And I really have to stop and ask women this question. If you actually had some kind of weird parasitical relationship that was okayed by the government, in fact, the government actually went out of its way to support, whatever the men did, the government would back them up. So, if you refuse to have sex with your husband, oh, well, that's okay, donkey punch to the face, and they go and rape your ass. So, imagine if stuff like this was okay. And not only that if the guy is outright done with the woman he's with, he could just throw her out on the street and that'd be the end of her. He wouldn't have to go and take care of her. Nothing would happen. It'd just simply be, hey, that was fun for a while it lasted, but now I'm done with you. Goodbye. Now, imagine something like that actually happened. Well, okay. Well, with that in mind, I don't believe that if a woman was told, what's in it for her to get in this relationship where a guy could actually do this kind of horrible crap, I don't think that a woman would be like, yeah, it's all about love. I should totally go and get into a relationship with a guy who could potentially abuse me and take advantage of me and mistreat me, and that's okay because it's all about love. No one would buy that. The stuff I just described is not love. If your partner is abusing you, they don't love you. I should not have to say that. And a lot of people just don't get it when it comes to men. And what I'm getting at is, if your relationship, if the woman is just completely abusing the guy, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to stay home and take care of the kids. Actually, forget taking care of the kids. I'm going to go and send them to daycare. I'm going to go and just lay around, be happy. You go out, work, kill yourself, and, oh yeah, I'm lonely now, so the fact that you're working so hard and all to go and keep everything running, well, I'm going to go and cheat on you, and it's going to be your fault now. And not only that but you know what? I think I can do better than you, so I'm just going to take your house, your car, over half of your income, and you're going to sleep in your car and become a stranger in your kids' lives. Yeah, I'm just sitting there like, that's not love either. Any woman who would treat their man like that there clearly does not love them. And while, of course, the candid response to this is going to be, well, you know what? It should be a guy's job not to go and date women like that. And I'm like, well, okay, let's go back to that hypothetical scenario that I went and established. Again, the corollary to that would be, well, if women live in an environment where men can just sexually take advantage of them, like women financially take advantage of men, well, it should be the woman's job not to go and get a guy like that. Because no good guy would ever do that to her. What do you know? The words sound kind of hollow now, don't they? It's kind of like, oh yeah, they don't go looking for people like this, but all I'm saying is crazy people are sometimes really good at hiding their craziness until the last minute. And so, if you can't really tell what this person is like, sometimes the best result is just simply not to play the game. Again, it's disaster management. That's all it is. That's all MGTOW really is. Even if MGTOW did not exist as a philosophy, the idea of what it embodies still exists. Because when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, the stuff I'm about to go through, or potentially going to go through, is it worth what I'm going to get out of it? And keep in mind, you can go and say whatever you want to men, but when you got a 75% chance of what it is you're doing just outright failing, that's not going to be exactly in your favor. And it doesn't make it any better when women are like, oh yeah, 10% of men are terrible, horrible people. And you know what? That's just too high of an odds to go and play the game. Yeah, I'm not making this up. There was an analogy of where men were compared to a bowl of M&Ms. Only 10% of them are poisonous, so go ahead and have a handful. And yes, I do have to go and state the obvious that it is very, very hypocritical of what women are doing. When it comes to them, a 10% risk is too much of a risk. Yeah, there's 90% chance that it's all going to go well for you, but that 10%, oh, we don't want that. But when it comes to someone else, oh yeah, a 75% risk, we can do that standing on our head, can't we, ladies? Why can't you be a real man and go out and get a girl and all and take that risk that she's going to go and take everything you got? It makes no sense. I really cannot see how anyone treating a woman like this would be okay. Outside of Saudi Arabia, maybe. The point, though, is, yeah, MGTOW, even if it didn't exist, as long as the idea of disaster management exists, MGTOW doesn't need a name. It simply means I'm putting way too much in it, and I'm getting too little out. Not only that it's all privileges for one person, and all responsibility for the other. It'd kind of be like, well, you know what? I want to go out, rob a bank, go and shoot the president. Well, okay, not that one, because I actually like Trump. But the point is, I want to do all these terrible, horrible things, and the fact that I was allowed to do it, that means whoever I'm with and all, whether it be a spouse, an adult, whatever else, that means they should be punished for it. Because my actions don't reflect on me, my actions reflect on them. And therefore, anything I do is their fault. They should have managed me better so I wouldn't be doing these terrible things, and therefore, I shouldn't be punished. They should be punished. No one would go and buy this. Anyone with common sense wouldn't. Even then, we are at the point where we actually got places like Canada who are saying, oh yeah, the stuff you're saying, it's true. Yeah, it's 100% true. But someone's offended, therefore you must be punished. I don't know. So maybe the stuff I'm saying will, in some bizarro world, would actually come about to be true. And unfortunately for me, this terrible, horrible stuff I'm talking about, I think that's going to end up happening when either whiteys get kicked to the curb and the Muslims take over, or when men just simply had enough and it's like, yeah, forget losing your right to vote. You're going to lose a lot more than that. And these are terrible times, and I don't want the opposite of what's happening now. That is what I'm saying. I want to see a world where men and women can actually treat each other like human beings. That's all I really want. My attitude is, if a woman's capable of something, she should be allowed to do it. You want to be in the army? Okay, but you're going to have to compete with the men. Put the bar back where the men were and compete with them. You don't make it? Well, you don't get to join. No, that isn't sexism. That's you being a failure. And the point I'm getting at, though, is that as bad as everything's become and all, we have basically ended up taking simple, common, rational, reasonable logic and said, oh no, this is offensive to these blood-sucking parasites who just want to go and take advantage of it for all it's worth. How dare you go and protect yourself? Again, this would be like a woman getting raped and then being told, well, it's her fault, she deserves it, and, how dare she go and carry mace or pepper spray or, some form of protection on her to go and keep her rapist from raping her. Again, we live in an insane world. And no matter how I look at it, we seriously need to go and realize that pendulum is going to swing pretty damn hard in the other way. So if you think that what I'm saying is going to be terrible, imagine it becoming reality.